What the Study Says.
Welcome back to What the Study Says. I'm Dr. Kai.
And I'm Dr. May.
You know that feeling, staring at a screen, maybe for hours.
Uh-huh.
Your phone, the computer.
Oh, yeah. Or even the GPS at night.
Exactly. And then everything goes a bit fuzzy.
Uh-huh.
Or you're suddenly struggling with the glare from oncoming headlights. It's almost universal these days.
It really is. Our eyes take a beating.
But what if I told you there are these tiny, sort of invisible superheroes working away inside your eyes right now, protecting them, maybe even sharpening your vision?
It's an amazing thought, isn't it, that there's this whole microscopic world inside us, working to keep things running smoothly. And the science, well, it supports it.
It absolutely does. So today we're doing a fascinating deep dive into two real powerhouse compounds, crucial for your vision and maybe even your brain. We're talking about lutein and zeaxanthin.
Mm-hmm. Two very important players.
Our mission today is basically to sift through the latest studies, the reviews, and pull out the key stuff. The actionable insights, we'll look at what they are, what they do, for your eyes, yes, but also the brain connection.
And crucially, should you be thinking about supplements? That's a big question for many people.
We want you to get informed quickly, maybe have a few aha moments.
And we've definitely found some things in the research that might genuinely change how you view your eye health. Literally.
Okay, let's get into it. Segment 1, meet the macular pigments. So what exactly are lutein and zeaxanthin? Why are they so special?
Well, they're a type of carotenoid specifically. They belong to a group called xanthophylls. Think vibrant yellow pigments found in plants.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. Humans cannot make these at all. We don't have the biological tools, so we absolutely have to get them from our diet.
No choice then. Gotta eat them.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is out of, well, over 1,000 carotenoids out there in nature, only lutein, zeaxanthin, and this related one, mesozeaxanthin. Yeah, it's actually formed in the macula, mostly from lutein. Those three are the only ones found concentrated right there in the human macula. They make up what we call the macular pigment. It's literally what gives that part of your retina its yellow color.
So they're like the chosen ones, specifically picked for duty in the most critical part of the eye.
Right.
Okay, so once we eat them, where do they actually end up? How do they get to the eyes?
It's quite a smart system, actually. They concentrate heavily in the macula, which you know is vital for that sharp central vision. Think of it like the high-definition sensor in your eye.
Right, for all the detail.
Precisely. And zeaxanthin specifically loves the very center of the fovea. That's peak sharpness territory. Lutein spreads out a bit more across the rest of the macula.
Yeah.
But it's not just the retina. They're also found in the lens of the eye. And remarkably, the amount in your retina actually correlates with levels found in the visual cortex of your brain.
The brain, too, so it's not just eye protection.
It seems to be more connected than we thought. It involves the processing as well.
Incredible. All right, you said diet is the only way. So what foods should people be reaching for?
Good news here. They're in a lot of healthy, common foods. Think green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, broccoli, or classics.
The usual suspects.
Right. Also, egg yolks are a great source, corn, squash, and generally orange and yellow fruits and vegetables, too.
And how does the body actually absorb them? Is it straightforward?
It's a bit of a journey. First, your stomach breaks them down. Then they get packaged into tiny fat droplets, lipids.
Ah, fat-soluble.
Exactly. Which means eating them with some healthy fats like, olive oil on your spinach, or just the fat in the egg yolk itself actually helps your gut absorb them better. More efficient uptake.
Good tip.
Then, once they're absorbed, they travel through the bloodstream, mostly carried by lipoproteins, particularly HDL, the good cholesterol.
The delivery trucks.
Kind of. And specific proteins then help grab them and keep them stable in the eye, especially in that foveal region. It's quite targeted.
Amazing biological machinery at work. Okay, that leads us nicely into our second segment. The eye-opening benefits. We know what they are, how we get them, but why are they so important? Let's start with protection.
Okay, protection. Their biggest role, especially now, is acting as natural blue light filters.
Like built-in sunglasses?
Sort of. They literally absorb a chunk of that high-energy blue light before it hits your sensitive photoreceptor cells. This helps cut down on glare, on light scatter, which ultimately improves your contrast sensitivity.
Seeing things clearly, even in tricky lighting.
Exactly. And this filtering is super important for kids, actually. Their eyes are still developing, their lenses are clearer, so they're potentially more vulnerable to blue light damage.
That's a really key point for parents.
Definitely. But beyond filtering light, they're also powerful antioxidants. They neutralize harmful free radicals. This is critical because oxidative stress, think of it as like cellular rust is a major factor in many eye diseases, especially age-related macular degeneration, or AMD.
So they're protecting cells from damage too.
Yes, they help protect the delicate fats in your photoreceptor cell membranes from getting damaged, which is a key process in how AMD develops. Double protection, filter, and antioxidant.
A double shield. Fantastic. But it's not just defense, is it? Studies show they actually improve how well we see.
That's right. Higher levels of these pigments in your macula, what scientists measure as macular pigment optical density, or MPOD, consistently link to better visual function.
Okay, like what specifically?
Well, the big one is AMD. The landmark ARDS2 study, huge, well-known trial.
Yes, familiar with that one.
It found lutein and zeaxanthin were effective substitutes for beta-carotene in reducing the risk of AMD progressing to the late stages. And we consistently see lower L and Z levels in people who have AMD.
So there's a clear link.
A very clear link. In fact, just getting about 5 to 6 milligrams a day from your diet seems to be associated with a lower risk of developing AMD in the first place.
That's a helpful target number. What else?
Well, some intervention studies where people took supplements showed improvements in just general visual acuity, how sharp your vision is.
Seeing smaller letters on the eye chart.
Basically, yes. And also, as I mentioned, contrast sensitivity. Seeing objects against similar backgrounds, especially in dim light. One analysis even found that lutein, zeaxanthin, and mesozeaxanthin together were top performers for boosting contrast.
Interesting. What about that glare recovery?
Ah, yes, photostress recovery. Taking lutein and zeaxanthin significantly sped up how quickly people's eyes readjusted after being exposed to bright light, less time being temporarily blinded.
We've all been there. And the kids study you mentioned earlier.
Right, really relevant today. Kids aged 5 to 12 taking 10 milligrams of lutein and 2 of zeaxanthin reported less eye strain and fatigue. Think about all the screen time.
Absolutely crucial findings. So it's not just about age-related decline. It helps young eyes cope too.
Precisely. And there's even some, let's say, promising, though maybe less conclusive evidence for other conditions.
Like what?
Things like cataracts, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy. Some studies, particularly observational ones or animal models, suggest lutein and zeaxanthin might offer some protection, likely through that antioxidant effect fighting oxidative stress.
So potential benefits there too, but maybe needs more research.
Exactly. More research needed for definitive claims, but the signs are positive.
Okay, now for the twist. It's not just eyes. You mentioned a brain connection.
Yes. This is really exciting stuff. The levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in your retina actually correlate with the levels in your brain.
Wow. So what does that mean?
Well, it's just a broader role, and there's evidence to back it up. That same randomized double-blind study in children, the 5 to 12-year-olds.
The one that helped with eye strain.
That's the one. They also found that the group taking lutein and zeaxanthin showed significant improvements in cognitive functions. We're talking faster processing speed, better attention, focus, memory, both episodic and working memory, learning.
That's quite a list. From an eye supplement.
Well, technically a carotenoid supplement, but yes. And very importantly, no safety issues were seen. It really points towards a developmental role in both vision and cognition, especially during those key childhood years.
Truly mind-blowing. Okay, this brings us squarely to segment 3, the supplement question. Given all these benefits, do most people need supplements? How does average intake stack up against these beneficial doses?
Right, this is the practical bit. The reality is the average adult in the U.S., for example, gets maybe 1 to 2 milligrams of lutein and zeaxanthin combined per day from food.
1 to 2. But you said we need 5 or 6 for AMD risk reduction.
Exactly. And the study showing those other visual improvements, the cognitive benefits in kids, they use doses like 12 milligrams total, 10 of lutein, 2 of zeaxanthin.
So there's potentially a significant gap for many people.
There often is. And studies confirm it. Taking supplements does increase your macular pigment density, your MPOD. Meta-analyses show a dose-response relationship, basically. Taking more, within reasonable limits, leads to higher MPOD. Around 0.003 units increase for every 1 milligram you take daily, roughly.
Okay, so supplements can definitely bridge that gap. But, and this is a big but, we need to talk about beta-carotene. This is a critical warning.
Absolutely crucial. It's easy to lump all carotenoids together, but you really shouldn't. High-dose beta-carotene supplements have been linked, and this is well established, to an increased risk of lung cancer in certain groups, specifically smokers and asbestos workers.
That's incredibly serious.
It is, and furthermore, taking high doses of beta-carotene can actually lower the levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in your body. They compete for absorption and transport.
So taking one could actually harm your levels of the others, the ones you want for your eyes.
Precisely. It's a negative interaction. That's why the big ARDS-2 study deliberately removed beta-carotene and replaced it with lutein and zeaxanthin.
Makes perfect sense now.
The National Academy of Sciences even advises against using beta-carotene supplements for preventing chronic diseases because, well, the benefits aren't proven, and harm has occurred in some groups.
So, message received. Lutein and zeaxanthin, good. High-dose beta-carotene supplements, potentially harmful and counterproductive for eye health.
Got it. What about the safety of lutein and zeaxanthin themselves, though?
Generally considered very safe. Studies have looked at quite high intakes, much higher than you'd typically get from diet or standard supplements, and found them safe across age groups, even for infants and kids. Safety isn't the primary concern with L and Z themselves.
That's good to know. And does it matter how you get them? Like, are pills better than gummies? Does taking them with food matter?
Well, we mentioned the fat solubility. Taking them with a meal containing some fat does seem to boost absorption.
Like with eggs versus spinach alone.
Right. Eggs have that built-in fat matrix.
Yeah.
The kids' study used gummies, and they reported good bioavailability, so form can be convenient, especially for children. But there's another interesting point about combinations.
Oh.
Some studies looked at supplements that mixed lutein and zeaxanthin with a whole cocktail of other antioxidants and minerals.
The kitchen sink approach. Kind of, and those mixes were sometimes less effective at raising MPOD than just lutein and zeaxanthin alone.
Really? Why?
The thinking is that certain minerals, maybe zinc or copper, often included in multivitamins, might interfere with the absorption of the xanthophylls. So more isn't always better in a combo pill. Sometimes simpler is more effective for these specific compounds.
Fascinating. Okay, let's wrap this up. What's the key takeaway for our listeners?
Well, the big picture is lutein and zeaxanthin are undeniably vital for your eye health. They act as your internal blue light filters, powerful antioxidants.
They can genuinely improve vision, things like contrast, glare recovery, and maybe even boost cognitive function, especially noticeable in children.
Right. So, step one, prioritize getting them from your diet. Load up on those leafy greens, egg yolks, colorful fruits and veggies. Aim for that 5-6 milligram baseline if you can track it.
But if you're concerned,
Yeah.
maybe you don't eat enough of those foods, you spend tons of time on screens, or you have risk factors for eye conditions.
Then it's definitely worth talking to your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional. Discuss whether supplementing specifically with lutein and zeaxanthin, remembering the caution about beta-carotene, makes sense for you. They can help you figure out the right dose.
Absolutely. It's about informed choices. So here's a final thought. In this age of endless screens, really understanding what keeps our vision sharp is more important than ever. What steps will you take starting today to protect your eyes and optimize how you see the world?
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
We hope you found it eye-opening. If this was valuable, please subscribe to What the Study Says and maybe share it with friends or family who could benefit. We'll see you next time.